Britain has been defeated in its bid to bring Russia in from the cold, Boris Johnson admitted. The Foreign Secretary revealed he previously believed democracy would flourish in the former communist state. But he told a Russian parliamentarian at Chatham House's London conference, "I genuinely thought that we would be able to welcome Russia into the community of democratic nations in the way that was envisaged by Bill Clinton and others in the 90s. It never really happened, and I think we have to do a bit of soul searching about why it didn't happen, how we lost Russia and what went wrong. I think there were faults on both sides, but we are where we are and it's difficult." He added, "It's a great pity." Mr. Johnson travels to Moscow in the run-up to Christmas, warning the government's policy on the Kremlin is beware but engage. Earlier, he backed Donald Trump's stance over North Korea, saying the U.S. president had an absolute duty to prepare any option in response to despot Kim Jong-un's rogue regime. "No one wants any kind of military solution to the problem," said the Foreign Secretary. "But Kim and the world need to understand that when the 45th President of the United States contemplates a regime led by a man who not only threatens to reduce New York to ashes, but who stands on the verge of acquiring the power to make good on his threat, I am afraid that the U.S. President, whoever he or she might be, will have an absolute duty to prepare any option to keep safe not only the American people but all those who have sheltered under the American nuclear umbrella. And I hope Kim will also consider this, that if his objective is to intimidate the U.S. into wholesale withdrawal from East Asia, then it strikes me that his current course might almost be designed to produce the opposite effect." Meanwhile, the Foreign Secretary urged Mr. Trump to show generosity and wisdom over the Iran nuclear deal. The president earlier this month failed to recertify the pact signed by his predecessor Barack Obama. But, pressing the White House to back the agreement, the Foreign Secretary said world leaders should look to the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT, as an example of how Armageddon can be avoided. "Think of the nightmare that deal has avoided," he said. "It is a nightmare we can continue to avoid if we are sensible, if we show the same generosity and wisdom as the negotiators of the NPT. That is not just because the essential deal is in the interests of Western security, though it is, but because it is profoundly in the interests of the Iranian people."